Coming up on today's adventure...
Oh, this is flattering. I don't know where I am, don't know where I'm going. £36,000. It's currently at 170,000 views. Might be my most watched TikTok to date.
A huge thank you to Stockholm LGBT for hosting me on this press trip. Make sure you reach out to them for the best possible Stockholm trip. But honestly, what adventure doesn't start with a flight at an ungodly hour from the airport?
It is the morning that I'm heading to Sweden. I've just arrived at the airport. Luckily, it's only a 20-minute drive. Malaga Airport is so pretty. Look at this. As you hear someone coughing desperately. Time to go straight through security and find myself a lounge to sit in, because I'm like, it's just gone 6 in the morning. I was up at 4:30, so my brain is just about to wake up, which is nice. I could do with a cappuccino. I had made it through security and into the lounge. I am always surprised at how much airports differentiate between each other, because security here was 3 minutes, if that. I'm currently sitting here by the Zen Gardens of Babylon, known throughout ancient Spain, Malaga Airport. For breakfast today, I believe this is a Russian salad sandwich and this poppy seed and cheese thing. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this, so I only bought one because I was like, oh, I don't know. And I have a cappuccino because I don't know why. Why am I having a cappuccino? I'm going to take so much caffeine and then immediately need to sleep on the airplane. Oh no, don't look at my secret Netflix.
I'm going to rob this bank. You can't! It's underwater! Underwater bank heist.
I feel like when I'm on an airplane, I don't want to do lots of brand new things. I'm just right, chilly, relaxed time. Engage the brain in meditation. I've never meditated at all. The only meditation I do is my eyeliner.
Taxi for mummy.
Every airport has the longest walkway to get to the exits, but I've made it. I'm in Sweden. I think it is so beautiful so far. I'm very surprised at how green it is. There's so many forests and things everywhere. I now have to get on the Arlanda Express train to get to my hotel. The hotel Rival, she's a rival girl. I cannot wait to get into my hotel room, rot for a little bit before dinner.
And with that, I have arrived in Sweden. It was surprisingly a very easy trip here, actually. I've never actually flown from a European country to a European country before. I mean, obviously, the UK used to be in the EU, but different situation, different situation. There was no border control. And of course that makes sense because Europe doesn't really have borders between European countries. I've just never experienced it before. That's right, girly wigs. I am here for Stockholm Pride 2025. I have been kindly invited by Stockholm LGBT to sample the wares of the best that Stockholm has to offer. During the course of this week, we will be kayaking. We will be feasting upon all sorts of Swedish cuisine, indulging in fika, which, as I'm to understand, is a sort of sweet treat in the afternoon, and of course being part of the Pride Parade. I'm staying at the Hotel Rival, and currently I have absolutely no idea which district of Stockholm it's actually in. But it was only a short taxi ride from the Arlanda Express. Never, might I say, never have I had such an easy escape from an airport. Literally straight out the airport, straight onto a train, straight into the city centre. I swear Europe just does it so much better. In today's video, I'm going to be doing some beautiful travel photography. I want to capture the moment, whichever moment that might be, that I might stumble across. And you can vote in the comments which photograph is your favourite throughout the series today. I arrived at my hotel about an hour ago, and my goodness, am I ready to have a coffee and a chill out. But I do have dinner at 6 p.m, and I would quite like to see a little bit of Stockholm before then. I guess today we have to ask the question, is Sweden really that gay? Yes! My hotel room was absolutely divine after my travels. It had a beautifully comfy double bed, a huge bathroom, including a bath, which was actually lovely after all the walking I did. And to top it all off, it had a gorgeous little balcony with a view over the road and some greenery. Perfect for a little morning cappuccino. But at this point, I was craving an energy drink so that I could be risen from the dead. And so I wanted a Swedish supermarket experience.
So I'm currently on the hunt for a very Swedish supermarket. Instead of rotting in bed, I thought, why don't I go and get myself an energy drink, liven myself up a little bit, see what's available around me. I'm in this beautiful little park. I don't know where anything is. I literally jumped in a taxi and was like, I don't know where I am, don't know where I'm going. So I will be looking at Google Maps to make sure that the information I share is correct and replicatable. Look at this absolute beast of a man. Subduing a dragon, maybe? What a beautiful city. I think my theme for this video is going to be like neutral pastels. There's lots of like really light oranges, light pinks, light blues everywhere. So yeah, I think the theme could be colour. Beautiful neutral pastel colours. Like, look at this road. Beautiful. I believe I have found a supermarket under brilliant guise of yuan, but this Coop. I believe this is the supermarket. Right, let's have a very Swedish adventure, shall we? Is this open? Is in mean in, or does it not? Oh, it does. Fantastic. I know zero Swedish. Oh, locked. Oh my goodness. Wow. A Swedish supermarket. Not sure how I feel about that. The train of death. Can I possibly find a drink here, I wonder? I want to try and find myself some fresh water and fresh, I don't know, I'm just gonna have a look. I have no idea how much anything costs because I'm just about used to euros, and they don't use euros here. It's the Swedish crown, which I think is like 13 euros to 1 crown.
That is not correct.
I don't know. Wait and see how much I spend.
$1 million.
Squeezed baby paste with halibut. Oh, I'm not sure about that. I don't know what to get. I'm going to get a monster and perhaps Passion fruit water? Is that what this is? I hope this is. I wish I'd learnt more Swedish.
You pay the once, the twice. And on the fourth time you say, okay, I am finished.
I have just paid 36.45 crowns, and my head was like £36,000. This is about £2.75, which is very affordable for an energy drink in this day and age, I think. Oh. So I've just walked back into my room, and I'm sorry. What is this beautiful little thing? Dear Luxeria, a warm welcome to the hotel rival, Rivel. We wish you a terrific stay by front desk. Thank you. What is it a picture of? Ah, beautiful. There we go. That's much better, isn't it? Not a cinematic. Cinematic means the light is behind. An ancient proverb. So what comes in the box? Can I do this one-handed? Oh, it's a tricky puzzle box. Oh, what is it? Is it chocolate? Andas inte en bit choklad. Andas ut njut. I have absolutely butchered that. Hello. Oh, for a split second, I thought they were little chocolate anuses. Oh, okay, right. I've got several things to taste test, everybody. Several things to taste test.
I've never made any secret of the fact that I am a complete tart.
Oh, isn't it nice to be, like, gifted things? Isn't it lovely? So I've got these gorgeous chocolates. I don't know which one to try first. Can you see those there? Oh my God, influencer. I feel like we're going back to 2010. Beauty guru. Hopefully they don't have any alcohol in, because mummy doesn't drink. I'm not actually lying. Okay, there's one with a little bit of salt on, one with... Do you know what? This one looks the nicest. Let me show you. This one here. It's got a little... Oh my God, skincare video. It's got a little sprinkle of something on it. Well, it smells like chocolate. It looks like chocolate. Does it taste like chocolate? Oh, no is the answer. It's like really sweet Turkish delight. Oh, that's very... The chocolatey-ness is very subtle. Oh, I can get used to this. And for my aperitif this evening... That's not what it is it? What's this? How do I say drink in Swedish, I wonder? Let's have a look, see.
And so I guess I never have asked, what do you want for your life after this waitress?
Drych. You have to hych. Drych. So this is locker met smack av ananas passion fruit. So I'm assuming that this is pineapple and passion fruit water. She's got a B-Tech. It might be fizzy, mightn't it? Let's have a look, shall we? Let's stop beating around the bush and have a taste. Oh, it's like a... Perhaps it's a delicate one. Oh, it immediately pineapple. Okay, let's try. Not very pineapple-y at all, actually. This is not what I was expecting. This tastes exactly like, not a tonic water, what do you call it? Like a sparkling water. So it's got that kind of like bitter kind of almost acidic taste with a slight hint as if someone walked past and went, pineapple. I can't taste the passion fruit in the slightest. I do like that though. Yum. I'd have this again. Well, fancy seeing you out here. So this evening, my day starts... Well, actually, no, that's not correct. It's already started. I'm fully here. I'm in Stockholm. I'm currently just having a little chillax before we go for dinner this evening. Now, dinner is apparently in these very beautiful rustic gardens. And there's also a bakery, apparently. So I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'm very excited to try it because I love a bakery. Did I ever tell you? Come sit next to me. Did I ever tell you about the time that I thought, do you know what? If my life goes completely wrong, I've got no options in life. I'm going to move to Devon and work in a bakery. Here I am in Stockholm. Nice to know that life went right. She's a Swedish woman. What secrets does she have to share? English, American, no, she's Swedish. Loreen.
Sweden! You have won the Eurovision Song Contest 2023!
I have made the dangerous decision to lay down and I can feel my body go. This is a really comfy bed. God. You've done it again, Hotel Raval. Oh my God, do the curtains go all the way around the room? No, surely not.
Oh, they do. Gosh, isn't architecture magical? Look, there's a curtain rail that goes all the way around the room. Did you see that? Probably not.
Oh no, how has that happened? Always the way, isn't it? Things get a bit ruined. Summer in the garden, summer in the garden, summer in the garden. We're going for summer in the garden, summer in the garden.
So, for our group's inaugural dinner, Stockholm LGBT and Visit Stockholm hosted us at Rosendals Tradgard. Situated on Tradgard Island, it is a botanical-style garden with greenhouses, flower beds, orchids, vegetable plots, and even a labyrinth. It serves as an open, organic garden run by a non-profit foundation aimed at educating the public about sustainable and organic gardening practices. We very kindly had a beautiful tour of the gardens, and we had a little talk about the importance of soil science and sustainable gardening practices. It really is not far from the city at all.
What I've done just to save time is I put the blouse on backwards through the sleeve, so now we're pulling it up backwards.
Okay.
And now we have this like really expensive looking blouse.
Miles, that one was very.
And surprisingly close to the Abba Museum, which we'll be learning more about later.
Built in 1532. This house belonged to
Paris Hilton.
someone else.
And before I even knew it, it was time to sit down for dinner. Good morning. I think it's about 6 a.m. and it's time to go to the Abba Museum. Good morning! Welcome to my very messy hotel room. But today, I am off to the Abba Museum! I have a jam-packed, filled day today. We've got the Abba Museum, we then have a tour of the royal palaces, and then I believe we're going on a ferry to the Archipelago, or at least across to a little island to have lunch at a hotel. And I cannot remember the name of the hotel.
She is awful.
I've gone for a sensible daytime glam today, which is a sentence I don't ever really say. But the weather in Sweden is a little bit unpredictable, which I have actually entirely forgotten about, which is surprising considering, obviously, born and raised in the UK. I think today as well I've got some time in my itinerary to play around with some street photography, and I want to see what the streets of Stockholm have to offer. Today I'm going to be taking out the Lumix G9 II. Now, I have this on loan for this little trip, so I'm hoping that it sways my opinion on whether I want one myself or not. I love Micro Four Thirds, but my goodness me, I think I just want too much from her.
Need a photo, but you stay right.
Yeah.
2013, we have around 500,000 visitors a year. This is our peak time now, so I wanted you to come a little bit early while it's still quiet, otherwise the line will go. When it comes to filming, we're a little bit restricted about the rights for the videos, so you can't film a video, but it can pass in the background when it's moving, etc. So just not directly. And then we also have from our Pride collection, we work together with the Rainbow Fund. It's really nice.
Very cute.
From Abba, and that's
This week, people are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it on a couple posts. I don't know how widespread, but you know, I am in queer media, so...
Yeah. So, yeah, let's get started.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, so the Abba Museum was a very interesting experience. It covered each member of the band's rise to stardom and how the music industry has been changed forever by Abba.
Shakira, ¿eres tú?
As you can imagine, there were a lot of ABBA songs playing in the ABBA Museum, which poses a huge issue for YouTube. So please enjoy this, hopefully copyright-free rendition.
You are the dancing queen, feel the beat of the tambourine. Oh yeah, you can dance, you can try, having the time of your week. Oh, sing that wig.
I think I need an ambulance.
Really, honestly, a lovely experience, and I would recommend going if you're an ABBA fan, but make sure you book well in advance, as it is hugely popular, and the queues were going out the building, around the corner, and down the street. They also have a pretty extensive gift shop, and I decided to pick this up for Louis. Love this. No Vimpia.
It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably turn it off.
I just love how everything's like a fun colour.
Oh, wow.
That is impressive, isn't it? Next on the agenda was the Vasa Warship Museum. Now, obviously, spoiler alert, I'm about to tell you all about the ship, so skip if you need to. The Vasa ship was a 17th century Swedish warship commissioned by King Gustavus Adolphus II, who by all accounts was a rather flamboyant man, obsessed with intricate detailing and grand gestures to really showcase Sweden's naval power. Unfortunately, it sank just 20 minutes into its maiden voyage, in the harbour that it was in fact released in. Apparently, this was due to a design flaw that made it incredibly top-heavy. Had it been a foot wider on either side, it would have been one of the deadliest battleships on the oceans at that time. The detailing that went into this ship is incredible. It genuinely does not come across on camera, and it really makes you feel so small, tiny, and delicate in comparison. What is unique about this museum is that the entire place is temperature and humidity controlled. Technically, the entire building is a preservation display box, and you are inside it. In 1961, the Vasa ship was raised from the seabed after spending 300 years underwater. After many suggestions of how to raise the ship, including pumping it full of millions of ping-pong balls, marine archaeologists ended up using a network of tunnels and steel cables to lift the ship slowly. I love the fact that it was like, none of this happened. But this is what it was meant to do.
Dying of dysentery.
Oh, of course, yeah. Bring your own plague. Luckily, the ship remained well preserved because the Baltic Sea has a really low salt content. And now it is on display for all to see. See what I did there? Do you see it? Huh? Seaside. The Vasa Museum is a must-see if you love historical, royal opulence and tragedy. In the museum cafe, we had just enough time for a coffee and some cookies before jumping on a ferry for the shortest ferry ride I've ever taken, approximately 30 seconds over to Skeppsholmen Island for lunch at Hotel Skeppsholmen. We're coming to the end of our long sea voyage. At least 30 metres.
Everyone off.
We made a touchdown.
ride.
It was, isn't it?
Just
At
the
least
tip.
20 seconds.
I needed a little more.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god, ferry ride? Wow. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. What is that? Slussen.
Venue that we like just briefly introduce you for at you. So now, obviously, we're here at Skeppsholmen.
And we also had a tour of their kitchen garden. And one thing I must say about Stockholm is that there are bees and other pollinators everywhere. And as a bee enthusiast, I love to see it. This hotel is a former army barracks, which is surprisingly close to all the amenities of Stockholm, including their theme park. It is potentially best suited to a city break with a slightly rural feeling, and also if you love theme parks. Lunch was cured salmon and new potatoes, and I was absolutely ravenous at this point, and it went down a treat. Can't stop and chat, babe. It's directly onto a coach to Drottningholm Palace for the salacious tales of the Swedish royal gays. Gays aplenty, as far as the gay eyes can see. No, but in all seriousness, this guided tour of Drottningholm Palace included lots of gay historical facts about certain royal figures like Queen Christina and King Gustav III and V.
If you look at paintings from the 1600s, they tell you a lot of details or stories that we might not can read today because we have forgotten all the symbols.
Homosexuality was decriminalised in 1944 in Sweden, which is 23 years before the UK. My dad was 25 years old when that was decriminalised, and 60 years before all federal same-sex intimacy laws were struck down in the USA. Now, I already love a museum, so I will always recommend a palace tour if you get the chance. But especially if you have an unlucky Swedish weather day. The Swedish Royal Palace, built in 1989 for Madonna's World Tour. Who knew Sweden's royal family was so gay? Our evening entertainment was a cocktail-making class at Hellstens Glashaus, which is a bar and hotel built on a flat rock that is over 1,000 years old. I'm not entirely sure what the cocktail was called that we made, but Mummy had a virgin.
Does that make simple syrup? Yeah. You have to be conscious in Africa. It's quite surprisingly clear. Yeah. Okay, is that done now? Yeah.
I don't.
I've never actually made a professional cocktail before, only the type of punch that is designed to get you utterly gazeboed. But this contained 0 alcohol rum, vegan egg white, and some sort of lemon and lime jus. Dinner this evening was at The Hills, an upmarket French cuisine restaurant that is enriched with gay history. Even some of the artwork on the wall was naughty. I had roasted hummus and a vegetable medley to start with, and char fish with roasted beetroot for my main, and it was entirely stuffing.
My goodness, what a day this one has been. Full day? Is it the first full day? First full day at Stockholm Pride. I'm so ready for bed. We're going to see the royal palaces tomorrow, which I'm really excited for because I feel like they'll make a great travel experience. I'm so surprised at just how gay the Swedish royal family is and how open they are about it, because
In the UK monarchy would be like, no, that doesn't, no, it's never happened, not once. Nobody has ever done anything, ever. It's like, that's not true, is it? A tired woman. Well, time for these lashes to come off and for me to have a nice sleep. Look at me, romanticizing sleep. Oh, the marbles, they are lost. Well, good night. Hello. I am so tired. It is Friday, and this is... I don't even know if you can see me. Is that better? Probably not. It is Friday, and it is the second day of full activities. I have a dilemma. I can either have another 40 minutes rest, or I can wash my hair now. And currently, I very much feel like I'll wash it in the afternoon. Gosh, this is riveting content, isn't it? Okay, I'll see you at breakfast. So I've managed to grab myself a croissant. I've ordered the fried egg and hash browns. This is a juicy fruity shot. It's got apple juice, pineapple, coconut, Tabasco, I think. So that's gonna be a right hoot to wake up to. Orange juice and a cappuccino to keep me alive. I'm barely conscious. This is the hash brown and 2 fried eggs. The rain managed to pay us a visit all day this day, and Miles, their boyfriend Ty, and I decided to walk to the Royal Palace on Södermalm. We took a scenic hour-long walk through the old town. And I must say, while rain is generally unpleasant, there is something so correct about cobbled 17th century streets in the rain. Beautiful gay cakes, everybody.
Yeah, it was really fun. You went to the underwear party?
Childhood Foundation.
Welcome to the current Royal Palace of Stockholm, Sweden. Here you will find out more about Sweden's gay royal history. For example, did you know that technically Sweden has never had a queen? Even though they've had female rulers, in Swedish history, the title of king has not been a gendered term. So learning that in fact Queen Christina referred to herself as King Christina was quite an eye-opening experience. Our tour guide also mentioned that historical attitudes towards gender was mostly of men are best, but if only a woman is available, that is fine. Apparently, King Christina took up fencing, which was quite the subject of royal court scandalous gossip at the time.
Scandalous!
And she also took what we now consider a romantic lady lesbian lover named Abba, who was in fact her lady-in-waiting. And apparently, Pope Alexander VII described King Christina as a queen without a realm, a Christian without faith, and a woman without shame. Now, if that doesn't sound like a Big Brother entrance line, I don't know what does.
Who is she? Where did you find her?
There's so much more to the story of King Christina, so if you want to find out more, you need to visit the palaces in Stockholm. This is quite literally the throne of Sweden. It's a silver gilt wooden ornate chair that was made in Germany in 1650 for King Christina's ascension ceremony. Now, I am no royalist, but this royal palace is still in use today. And it was quite a thrilling peek into noble life in centuries past. The decor of this palace is beautiful and opulent, with many different inspirations taken from other palaces in Europe. This room is inspired by the Hall of Mirrors in Versailles. All in all, a perfect little escape from the rain. After the palace tour, it was imperative to stop at Chokladkoppen for a spot of fika, which is defined as a moment to slow down and appreciate the good things in life, which is usually coffee and a sweet treat with friends. Chokladkoppen was the first Swedish business to permanently display the Pride flag since 1997. And it is a remarkably gay little bijou cafe in which I indulged in an oat milk cappuccino and a much needed, very Swedish cinnamon bun. After which, it was back into the rain for an old town tour with the handsome and also very Swedish Lars.
Swedish lady words.
And then I saw her face. I'm a
This tour took us to several historical sites and also some more touristy places, such as locations used in the film The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Unfortunately, the rain was getting pretty intense at this time, so it became needs must that we head back to Hotel Rival for lunch. Yes, indeed, lunch was hosted at the very same hotel that I'm staying at, so that was a wonderfully short commute for me. Burrata and roasted hazelnut linguine with seasonal vegetables was served for lunch, and it was so hearty and filling after being out and about in the rain. The Hotel Rival is owned by ABBA member Benny Andersson, but you will not hear any ABBA playing throughout the establishment. Instead, it is stylized after elegant jazz and musical memorabilia. There was luckily a spot of downtime after lunch, and yes, I did in fact use that time to wash my hair. Case closed. I also used the time to take some glam selfies before our evening drinks at Hotel Villa Dahlia.
Tonight, the horror of vampires with cleavage. The chill of naked witches. Tonight, it's supernatural sirens.
Pack your belongings and leave.
The only picture I got from this evening was a rather candid photo of my virgin porn star Martini. She is in fact a photographer, everyone. And with that, it was off to bed. Good morning from Sweden! Today is Stockholm Pride 2025. As I am to understand, it is the single biggest event that this city sees in its yearly calendar. Last year, 500,000 people arrived to the city of Stockholm to celebrate Pride. 50,000 of those people were in the parade itself. The parade in Stockholm works a little bit differently to what you might know as other Pride parades around the world. Here, anyone can go in the parade, and you can also re-walk the parade and join on to whichever group is around you, which I really quite like, that sort of structured, unstructured vibe where you can just be part of the community. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Community? What? I've been well and truly looked after this week by StockholmLGBT. Now, you'll know me if you've watched any of my other travel videos before. I love, 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 love bold colours and bold shapes. If you specifically remember the petrol station video, you're going to see something similar in this video. I'm sure there is a specific dedicated stylistic linguistic term, if you like, for the exact architecture that is seen everywhere in Sweden. I'm sure it'll be called something like Scandinavian minimalism, but to me it's kind of like a pastelized, almost brutalist industrialism, almost, but less grey and more vibrant, if you like going into Lightroom and turning the vibrancy bar all the way up. What I have enjoyed about travel photography here is that almost at the end of every alleyway, the buildings themselves will frame something happening. Whether that's a group of people moving through the streets, or perhaps at the end there's the water of Stockholm with boats going past, ferries, people busy doing things. It's so different to anything I've experienced before. I mean, obviously in London we have the River Thames where people can commute across, but here you will have to cross water at some point in your day. Another thing that I particularly enjoy is seeing the amount of Pride flags everywhere. It feels very welcoming, and I'm always a little bit yes, I know the places are going to want me to come, they're going to want me to take beautiful photos and speak about the warm atmosphere and speak about the beautiful companies here that respect LGBT people. Here I really feel very safe, and in my opinion you can't put a price on safety. Today we have beautiful weather, which I'm very excited for because I feel like Pride looks right when the weather is sunny, the people are smiling, and everyone is just celebrating who they are. So, my lovelies, make sure you're sitting comfortably, grab yourself a beverage, and let's go to Stockholm Pride.
The swan girls. Techno gym. Ends. Are we going this way?
The Hotel Kung Karl was our base of operations for our Pride party. The hotel has an eclectic yet definitive Art Deco feel about it.
Yes, it's me. Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
and they provided us with a lovely little buffet. I didn't realise when we arrived, but it literally has the perfect view of the parade route from the top floor.
Gullmarsplan, om vi säger så då. Ja, är ni från Gullmarsplan eller lite söderut? Ja, ni är från landet alltså. Vad spännande.
And it was not long before we heard the roar of the self-named biker gang, Dykes on Bikes, symbolising the protection and the start of the Pride Parade.
God, the crazy sea of people walking is insane right now.
Honestly, the whole experience was so moving. Seeing so many people supportive and cheering was almost overwhelming at times. Currently, a certain group of very loud and ignorant people make it seem like the very type of person I am is somehow dangerous to society and the world at large. But seeing the amount of pride and trans flags left me feeling reassured that the fight is still on, and we're not going anywhere. I was very lucky to capture a perfect piece of short form content that really summed up the experience. It resonated with a lot of people, and even Baby Spice shared it to her Instagram story. Jumping right into the parade, the energy, the only way I can describe it is electric. We ended up walking next to the firefighters and getting soaked with water every so often. Some of you guys even stopped me in the parade to take a selfie, and I certainly did not expect that in Sweden, but thank you. You made my day. How many things I shall have to blur today. What's champagne in Swedish? No idea. Ending the parade route was the Pride Park, where a veritable plethora of stalls and bijou filigrees were on offer. This is one of the sweetest little pride parks that I've ever been in. Behind me you can see all of these stalls. Stalls? Skål! And this is the main stage. I have no idea who's headlining, but apparently there's a couple of Drag Race Sweden girls, I would expect. Apparently there's a Drag Race USA winner playing. We don't know who it is yet.
That is not correct.
I just seen the perfect t-shirt for Louis.
I don't want you.
Oh my god, jag såg inte. Pretty. Kind of. Actually.
Mushroom and cheese and crisps. After some lunch in the park and meeting up with everyone, we decided to head back to our hotel to change for the evening party. Also, of all of the things in the world to see, our taxi went right past this shop. A chemise!
Daytime tweed with an evening chiffon.
So, I am back at my hotel, at the Hotel Rival Girly Wigs, and I thought I would show you what I bought at the Pride Park. And we're going to go back a bit later. It is currently 6:30 p.m, and I think we're going to head down for about 10:30, as that's when like the concert and everything starts. So you can probably hear in my voice, I'm a bit like, oh, time for a rest. But I want to show you what I bought. I don't know how if I can even show this on YouTube. No. Dickfashion.com, and in this bag, let me see if I can. Let me see. I got this rather bijou top for my boyfriend. There's a little muscle vest. And it's like a plum colour, which is quite nice. And it's got a little erect penis on it. Oh, got to have a hobby.
My wife is a transsexual Satan worshipper.
Oh, this is flattering. The Pride, Stockholm Pride. I've never been to such a massive Pride celebration. Seeing from where we were, from the hotel, we had like an exclusive balcony area, like events room. The view over the main square and the roads leading towards the Pride Park was just incredible. To see that many people like partying and celebrating and standing up for themselves was just like, it was magical in a way, because I'm so surprised at just how safe I feel here. And that's a very strange feeling, because it feels like I can actually fully breathe and there's no tightness. And it is something that I do think about as a trans person. I do always, in the back of my head, I have that little consideration of like, am I walking into a safe environment for myself? Like, I'm not big, I'm not stocky, I can't fight. So there's always that slight thing of like, what's gonna happen next? I always have to be on, so to speak. And I just feel like here, I just haven't had to do that, which is so peaceful. And to see that many people celebrating, there was also like the emergency services, even the military was there. And I'm not exactly pro-military or pro-royalty, but they were like visible, showing their support and also supporting their LGBTQIA members of their, you know, services. That's like crazy to me, crazy. Yeah, it's been quite an experience, and I hope I've managed to capture some beautiful photos. There was one or two that I was like, this is gonna be my photo of Pride, like this moment. I didn't bring my laptop with me, so I can't do any like photo editing, retouching, coloring, or anything like that, like balancing. I've only got my phone, so I'm just doing like quick posts for Instagram right now, which is like, it's okay, you know, like it's all right to do that, but I like to be able to spend some time really finessing something to make sure that an image is like the best it can be for when I present it in my digital gallery, which is YouTube and Instagram. Wow, what an experience. And all of the concerts tonight at the Pride Park start slightly later, so I still got my media band on. Media prides, everybody prides. But I'm just gonna have like a 15-minute rest. My social battery has gone bleep, 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 as it does, you know. I'm not a young, sprightly chick no more. Old maiden. So I've just booked my Uber back to the Pride Park. Slight outfit change, just because it's getting a little bit cooler in the evening. My Uber's gonna be 4 minutes, and that's not long at all. And the Uber cost was roughly £17. That's about 215 Swedish crowns, which it's actually pretty good, considering it's like a 25-minute journey, so pretty happy with that. I just had my TikTok post about the Pride Parade going past my window, my hotel window earlier, and it is currently at 170,000 views. Might be my most watched TikTok to date, which is entirely surprising. Okay, my Uber's gonna be here in 2 minutes. This is the beautiful plaza that the Hotel Rival is on. I'm having a great time. Never know what to expect with press trips, but this one's going exceptionally well, if I do say so myself. Wakey, wakey, it's time for more Sweden! It is bright and sparkly here on the water of Sweden. We are going to the Archipelago, which I am sure I don't quite understand what that is just yet, but hopefully I see a very hideous bird and take a gorgeous photo. The final day takes us on a private yacht for activities in the Archipelago.
We are going on quite a long trip, so sometimes it speeds up and then it might be a little bit.
Sailing past the so-called capital of the archipelago all the way to the Isle of Finnhamn. Courtesy of the Vision Stockholm and Visit Stockholm.
They're not asleep, ma'am. They're dead.
I managed to speak to our captain for a little bit while I sat next to him, and he mentioned that he had designed the entire interior of this yacht. And it was very much giving mid-century modern, I would say. Now, I've got to be honest, I've never been a huge fan of boats, but this may have changed my perspective. I haven't experienced anything quite like the sights and the sounds of this specific excursion before. It was slow at times and very, very fast at others. Sunny, cool, a little bit wet, and all the other boat people, sailors, waved at us as we majestically and gaily sailed by.
And really holding space with that.
Now apparently, the more north you go through the archipelago, the more red the buildings become. I was informed that this is because the territory is rich in iron, which incidentally means that the red pigments from the iron oxides are plentiful, and so many families would paint their wooden houses in this colour. The archipelago itself is a collection of approximately 40,000 islands. Now, this number does change depending on who you ask, and technically what's classed as an island. Is a rock in the middle of the river an island, or is it a rock in the middle of the river?
The Castle of Stockholm, where Queen Victoria threw a pie in 1992. She had a very Swedish time. Here we have Sweden's first lighthouse. People were a lot smaller back then.
Each of the islands are very much inhabited and active, and also very, very colourful. The route that we were on took about 2 hours from Stockholm Dock to the Finnhamn Jetty, where we promptly jumped off the front of the boat and onto dry land. And this was another new experience for me. Finnhamn Island is part of the Archipelago Foundation, where when you visit you can partake in a range of outdoor activities and stay in one of their many holiday cottages or hostels. There are plenty of beautiful hikes, beaches, water sports, and there's even a little rowboat system for island hopping. The Archipelago Foundation is one of the largest landowners in Stockholm, and their goal is to conserve and restore the natural beauty of the islands and pastures.
It's just so pretty.
To ensure that future generations can safely enjoy them. As soon as we made land, we were treated to a delicious outdoor luncheon where we learnt more about the team's conservation efforts. And And I've got to say, this is exactly what I was expecting when I heard rural Sweden in the itinerary. Everything, and I mean everything, was so green and beautifully vibrant. I even got to experience a Swedish kayak. A little different from what I'm used to. It was quite a wiggly device. But now I can say that I have kayaked on the Baltic Sea. That brings me to a total of 3 seas so far. The Atlantic, the Mediterranean, and now the Baltic. I just love the fact that we've come out of a forest onto a boat. As it was getting later in the day, the journey back to Stockholm was a little brisk in the air, so I stayed inside the boat chatting to everyone about the week that we had had, and before long, it was time to disembark for our final event and closing dinner. A crayfish party. The Hotel J is a Swedish sauna retreat and wellness centre located on the island of Nacka. We were invited to take part in a sauna experience, but I have come to realise in my life that sadly, sauna is just not for me now. So Tracy and I were invited to hold space in a beautiful private tour of the hotel's herb garden, which they use to create special scented stories in their saunas and in their hotel teas. Now, once again, I could not believe the amount of bees, so please enjoy some ridiculous slow motion. Our final dinner together, before we say "Vi ses snart," was a crayfish party. We sang Swedish songs and had some utterly ridiculous conversations that shall not be repeated online. I must admit, although I love to try new things, I can safely say that crayfish is not for me. But the last dinner vibes were immaculate, and I made sure that I was present. Berry mocktail in hand, the conversation was flowing well into the night beyond the sunset. Good morning. It is the day to return home. I have had an incredible experience here in Stockholm. Oh yeah, I have a cappuccino because my brain is so disconnected, one might say. I have had such an experience here. I've learned all about how homosexuality became decriminalized and, by extension, what that meant in terms of Sweden's royal family, the monarchs that are intrinsically linked to the way that Sweden's laws were passed and revoked, the immense history about Stockholm Pride, a beautiful excursion into the Archipelago. There's something about like small towns that still make me think like, is this place going to be quite accepting? And I hazard to guess and say, no country is perfect. Everyone has pockets of society that just do not like LGBT people, and some of those pockets of society actively campaign against our right to inclusion and our rights to a happy life with free love. But the islands that we ventured to in the archipelago, I did not feel in any way, shape, or form unsafe, unwelcome, and like people did not want me there. At one of the dinners this week, we also met a Swedish member of the Green Party who is sitting in Parliament. And she took the time out of her evening to explain to us where Sweden wants to be with its inclusion of LGBT rights, especially when it comes to trans people. In a similar sort of way to the UK, there is a long process to transition, and it's locked behind time. In the UK, I think right now, the NHS, adult gender services to access on the NHS is something like 4 years.
That is not correct.
Sweden currently has a first appointment wait time of 3 years, which isn't great and can use some improvement. But it was lovely to speak to someone in Parliament who is actively working towards that improvement. And I think it's hard to see sometimes that progress happens in stages. It doesn't just happen overnight, because it feels like sometimes your time is running out, like we have to do this now, otherwise, nothing can happen ever. And I'm pretty bad at wanting this. Sometimes I get impatient and I'm like, well, I need this reality now. But when it comes to such long-standing things that take time to change, attitudes also take time to change with them. You have to change the attitude that some of the people in the medical profession have towards trans people. We also have years and years and years of medical research that has always delayed, always suggested delaying, because when it comes to gender things, people get icky, and ick makes people wait and rather than learn more. The amount of food that I have eaten this week has been off the scale. Everything is a poached, baked, char-grilled marmoset ankle with an asparagus seafoam jus. That's not to say that the food hasn't been absolutely delicious. Very salty. Sweden loves its salt, and so do I. But I'm looking forward to having some creature comforts. I always say this about traveling and travel photography, is it is beautiful to go and see the world, and that makes returning home just as beautiful. Travel is the antidote to intolerance, and if we all traveled a little bit more, the world would be a better place. What a trip. I have loved every second of this press trip to Stockholm, and I'd love to say a huge thank you to StockholmLGBT for hosting me and introducing me to many new friends. This experience is going to stay with me forever.